Welcome to the Smark Foundation podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
And we are here to talk about the best and worst of AEW for the week. News for the week. Not a lot going on. It's WrestleMania week, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess the biggest AEW related thing that happened this week outside of the TV shows was just WWE putting their foot in their mouths and not being able to keep AEW out of theirs.
yeah, I guess not. Um,
Wasn't as bad as last year, but
no,
yeah, they keep on bringing it up like we ain't bothered anymore. We used
right,
to be. We ain't bothered anymore. We're past it.
right. We understand that AEW is competition and corporate people don't want that, but oh well.
Yeah.
Um, Sad news in the wrestling world. Van Hammer, uh, Ravens flock. He was part of Ravens flock,
He
right?
was part of the flock, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
He
he passed
and
away.
he was also part of the Misfits in Action.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, uh, just a guy who's like a constant presence in WCW, kind of on and off throughout the '90s, and in the early 2000s. He was probably known more for not for showing up and doing jobs than anything else, honestly, despite his
Yeah.
big frame and for like failed pushes and stuff like that. But, I mean, he was a guy that if you grew up watching WCW during that time period, you were always like, oh, this is that guy. Ah, nice to see you, Van Hammer. Glad to see you're still plugging away. Like,
Right.
it was never like anybody that you were really like expecting to see a push given to or anybody, but it's like, oh, a familiar face. This guy.
Right. He's like an ancillary character in a lot of different
Yeah.
factions.
It's very clear that he tried. He
Mhm.
wanted to be there for sure.
Yeah.
Uh so I think probably the most notable thing he did was he took the Misfits in Action a little bit too seriously when it was a joke stable. They wanted to originally name him Private Stash as a marijuana joke, but he took it. He didn't. He took the joke too seriously and balked at being given the lowest rank in the stable, and so he was promoted to major, which isn't as funny as private in this context.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like it was he was a guy who was kind of a constant. He was one of those Barry Horowitz types, like, oh yay, there he is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how are you gonna lose this week?
I remember him notably as the guy who showed up with a guitar and a complete inability
Mm,
to play it.
yeah, I remember as the guy who tried to kip up once and fell into the ropes trying.
Mm.
But
Oh,
like, man, like he tried, man.
yeah.
He and to a degree, I mean, he still made it to WCW. He still made it. Like,
Yeah.
he achieved his dream. That's pretty cool. It's a
Mm,
lot. It's a lot more than you can say for a lot of people. Like, being a jobber, a consistent, enhancement talent in one of the two major league promotions, and being on TV all the time is still better than not making it to the show at all.
yeah, that's true. That's
In
true.
a lot
And
of
he was
ways,
on TV a
especially during
lot.
that time period. So
Yeah. He probably had, I mean, yeah, he probably had a comparable amount of TV time to a lot of people just because he did
yeah,
do the job a lot, Yeah.
yeah, he was
So,
around long, often enough that you knew who he was,
mhm.
which recognizability goes a long way in this
Yeah.
industry. It's generally what makes indies interested in having you work for them is a stint as being a recognizable character on TV
Yeah.
recently. So, you know, good for him. And We don't know at the time, the current time, what the cause of death was. He was relatively young at 66. I don't know if drugs or steroids or whatever were involved, but we wish the best to his family and his friends.
Yep. With that said, let's get into some happier stuff with some AEW Dynamite.
Yeah. Talking about mood whiplash. Okay.
Mood whiplash.
This may be the best episode of Dynamite in its history. It's right up there. If it's not the best, it's like top 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man. It really was
an incredible bit of business.
Yeah.
More, and I think Tony is opening up to this line of thinking, but more, recently, but more episodes should have the through line for all the way through the show.
Yeah.
More of them should do that. It doesn't have to be for the world title or involving the same people all the time, but it really helps hold the show together and really it ramps up the feeling, the tension and the excitement and the anticipation for the end of the show when you set it up at the beginning of the show and then work it in little bits throughout the episode. Like it felt like an episode of Attitude Era Raw with better wrestling. Because they did that all the time in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was their bread and butter. So I welcome that type of storytelling, and boy, howdy, did this kick off. MJF arrives in his limousine. Renee's trying to get a word with him, and he won't shut up. And it's very clear that he hasn't been on social media since his match with Kenny on Sunday. It's very clear that he hasn't seen the press conference from after the show, after the Dynasty, where Darby Allin challenges and Tony Khan makes it official that he's going to get his world title opportunity at that show. Don Callis shows up, and we learned that through their conversation that MJF, because he was preparing for his main event match, didn't even know that Andrade lost to Darby and that Darby was going to be getting a shot. He just assumed Andrade was going to handle it. And importantly, he tells Don that he owes him a favor now because his boy couldn't get it done. I'm sure that will come up later. Yeah. Not in this show, but down the line. I'm sure that'll be brought up. MJF doesn't drop those nuggets for nothing. And then Renee is so great. She's like, finally gets tired of them. It's like, Max, Darby won, and he is getting his world title shot, and he's getting it now. Literally now. And Max drops an F-bomb and storms to the ring where Darby's already waiting. His music is playing. And Justin Roberts is announcing the beginning of the match. Like, oh my God. Like, what a way to kick things off. And then it even gets better from there.
Yeah. From there, of course, MJF comes out, he grabs Mike. He's, the fans are chanting, ring the bell before he even gets the mic in his hands. And he's like, I'm not going to have a match with this emo freak. Basically, I'm not gonna have it right now. I'm not gonna have it at all. And
importantly, they're in Everett, Washington, where he started his career. Bryan Danielson, who is not from very far from there, is on comms. So Aubrey is the referee, who's also from the Seattle area. So like they were really goosing it up.
Yeah, they were really, they had the hometown people all pretty much out all at once. Mm-hmm. And so, MJF is trying to tell Darby that he's not ready to be world champion, but Darby snatches the mic and is visibly crying.
Yeah. Like, what a promo he cuts here.
Yeah. And basically cuts this promo about how, I started my career less than 10 miles from here. I hung the AEW flag from the top of Mount Everest. I did all of this and that, and I never changed anything about myself. And is like bawling basically
Yeah.
through this promo, which
Yeah, he's bawling. He's spitting. Like
yeah,
it's just like fluids coming from his face, just from
right,
every orifice because he's so emotional.
yeah, and then MJF tries to take the mic back and still deny the match, and Bryan Danielson stands up from commentary desk and says that he has heard from Tony Khan and that this match will happen in the main event.
Yeah.
And MJF, of course, starts yelling at Danielson. And as he's yelling at Danielson, Darby spins him around and says, "Tonight in the main event, I'm going to beat your ass the headlock takeover."
Yeah. Callback. I love these callbacks.
Yeah, good callback.
I'm not the only one. This is a lore-driven fandom.
Yeah.
And we love these Easter eggs and these callbacks and all this stuff. And that would absolutely play into what happened later that night.
Yeah.
And I really, really want to talk about it, but we've got to get to all the other stuff that happened first.
Right.
In any case, this was an incredible opening segment. I was so hyped at the beginning. I mean, more so for the fact that he cut that promo.
Yeah.
Like, that was the best, most... Like, Darby doesn't always seem supernatural on the mic at times, but this one was clearly from the heart. And this was clearly as authentic Darby as we're ever going to get.
Yeah.
And like, it made me so excited. And made me, I wasn't really like, I thought this was just going to be another show. And it's like, okay, it's WrestleMania week. They're doing a big show to show out. And this actually put the idea in my head that a lot of other people thought before me. I'm not going to take credit for thinking this at all. But, that, maybe they are going to change the title tonight. And for the first time, I thought that might be a serious consideration.
Mm.
And it was like, we're going to see something historic tonight. Maybe.
Yeah, I could feel it. Yeah. It was like in the air.
I was vibrating.
Yeah.
Like, it was. I mean, it's great when you get to see something historic, but it's even better when you get the foreshadowing that you might, and you get that anticipation built up, and it's just like it soaks your body, and it's fantastic. There's nothing quite like the anticipation of seeing something incredible happen before your eyes in a wrestling context. It's just, it's intoxicating. It really is.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, it had me. It's not very often where like just the beginning segment of a show has me like sitting up and just like in it after that. And I stayed. I mean, this is like the quickest 2 hours in months because I was in it, dude. I was just in it.
Locked in.
Yeah. And so after that, we have Tony Schiavone backstage after Dynasty, and he's trying to catch up with Omega, and we've got Omega and Will Ospreay in the training room after
somehow
their respective matches.
Again?
Yeah.
Last time that these two had any interaction with each other in AEW, Ospreay was trying to literally murder Kenny Omega. Like, that was the last serious interaction they had. But I guess, bygones are bygones when everybody hates Don Callis. So.
Yeah, I guess so. But they kind of, I mean, they're both also crying.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Ospreay more so.
Yeah, but they ask each other if they're doing okay, and kind of hyping each other up.
Yeah.
And then Ospreay like hugs Omega and tells him, "You're my hero."
Gives him a little kiss on the forehead too. That man understands the assignment.
Yeah.
for this crowd. This is a very, very this audience is very, very into Slash.
Yeah.
By and large, he understands the assignment and he leans into it like all of the best performers in this company do. They're willing to
Yeah.
go there. Yeah. And he walks off, and then Omega like is just. This is the part where it kind of falls off for me a little bit because like who is Omega talking to?
Mhm.
But like, he's just kind of talking to himself. It's like, I'm your hero, huh? Well, maybe there is a chance. Maybe I still got a couple in me left or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he shoos the cameraman away. Like,
Yeah.
the emotion here was fantastic, though. Like, you go from this really, really high emotional beat to this other really, really high emotional beat. And it's just like, wow. There's not even been a single match yet on this show, and this is already turning out to be like an all-timer, simply based on the emotion that it's invoking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a special night. I can tell right then and there. This is going to be a really special night.
Right. And then, so after all the emotion to kick off the show, we finally get some wrestling with, man,
shadow knows my story.
I'll tell you this, okay? Like, it's getting really difficult in AEW for me to root for a specific person in a match. In this case, it was really hard because I really like watching Tommaso Ciampa beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
I
really,
really
good at what he does.
He's great at it. But also, I have been thoroughly impressed with the Rascals. Like every time they get in the ring, like, I mean, I gave them the benefit of the doubt off the hop because of the weed gimmick. Because I was like, okay, you know, of course I will.
They're hoopers though.
But man, can they go?
Yeah,
and
sure.
I just they really impressed me like every time. And then this was. I mean, this was a great match. It was great. It was a little shorter than I thought it would be, but yeah.
Yeah, interesting dynamic with the vastly contrasting styles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hugely contrasting. But that's the thing about the Rascals is that regardless of the style contrast, they tend to make it work. And
oh, absolutely.
Ciampa's a great veteran, so he's well versed in making a match work also. And these guys just like they really. The only reason this isn't my match of the week is because there was just so much good wrestling.
There was so much
that it was hard for me to pick. It really was. But
and
this was
the variety was incredible too.
Yeah,
like the variety of stories told, and it was a really great week for AEW.
Yeah.
But Ciampa, he pulls down the knee pad, hits the knee, 1, 2, 3. Really good match between him and Desmond Xavier. Gets the mic afterwards and says he's going for all the goals, which is something that we've kind of heard a lot of from a couple of different people.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be the last time on this episode where we heard the same thing.
Yeah.
But obviously this is foreshadowing. Because this will lead into a match that happens this coming Wednesday. But before we get there, we have to go through the rest of Dynamite.
That's right. And then we have, after that, we have a small, well, I mean, it's okay. So Ciampa picks up the win, of course.
He calls dibs
I say, of course,
world champ.
Yeah, I say, of course, but like you almost can't guess who's going to win in AEW because they're probably going to throw you off somehow. But at the same time, I get that they're trying to build the Rascals, but they're also trying to build Ciampa to like a world title spot. So
yeah,
he takes the dub here. And he calls next on World Championship. So we'll talk a little bit more about that.
And according to our friend on Blue Sky AEW rankings, he does currently have a record that would demand a title shot. In fact, he even by the numbers, you would probably have to consider him the number one contender based on wins and losses alone.
Yeah, well, I mean, here they go booking like the numbers are there and then not
Yep.
putting
And
it as
then
part of the
not
program.
acknowledging them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, After that, we had a little video package about the significance of a headlock takeover between Darby and MJF.
mhm.
And I mean, we all kind of know how that goes. And then after that, um, we've
I mean,
got
if you're new to the product and haven't been privy to the entire history of that, they've had two matches, Darby and MJF, and each time MJF has said that you're not in my league and that I could beat you with a headlock takeover. He has used the Dynamite Diamond ring behind the referee's back to knock Darby out, and then take him over with a headlock takeover and pin him that way to humiliate him.
yeah,
That's the gist of it.
yeah. After that, we've got I think FTR were they backstage?
No, they come to the ring.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, they're in the ring.
I thought it was weird that they came to the ring and then they did a thing. They did a promo to get heat, and then nobody came out.
Yeah,
They just kind of left. Like the promo was fine. You know, they made fun of Cage and Cope and told them that they would never get another title shot against them. People keep. I need to go on a little mini rant here because people keep thinking that this was the second time that FTR beat Cage and Cope, and it's not. What they're getting wrong is that the last time they faced each other before Dynasty, Cage and Cope actually beat FTR in that match. The reason everybody thinks that it went the other way, though, is because of the angle after the match where they got their heat back and gave Beth Copeland a pile driver.
yeah,
Spike pile driver. That's why people think that. But I saw, even on the Wrestle Talk podcast, they got it wrong.
yeah,
And they're usually pretty good on keeping up with their history, especially Luke Owen is usually pretty good at keeping up on it. But I went back and checked because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't gaslighting myself into remembering it incorrectly. But no, FTR hadn't. I was correct when we were doing our watch along with Dynasty. They had not won against Cage and Cope.
yeah.
This was the first win that they
Right.
had. So they went out to gloat about it, and they said that they weren't going to get another title shot, and then they riffed on their old 5-second pose gimmick.
Yeah.
10 seconds, though, because they're twice as good as they ever were. But yeah, I can't imagine that's done. I can't imagine that their claim that they're never going to get a title shot again against FTR is going to hold. I don't think it's going to hold water.
Yeah. After that, we've got our TNT Championship match with Kevin Knight making his first defense against Claudio Castagnoli. I have a little bit of an issue with this. The match was fantastic, of course, because Claudio and Kevin Knight, I mean, they're both really great. But my issue is that if I recall correctly, this is like the third or fourth time that somebody's won a title and their very first title defense was against Claudio.
Yeah, he's a kingmaker.
And Claudio, like, we got to get him some dubs on television that aren't in CMLL or something. Like, he's fought 4 brand new champions and never once beaten any of them.
Yeah, he's the Wharf effect in person.
Yeah, it's weird that like there's this guy who's like everybody in the fandom knows that this is like one of the most legit guys in the bag. Like this is legitimately like one of the strongest dudes and like one of the baddest,
one of the most unique professional wrestlers I've ever seen.
Yeah, with
a completely unique and quite frankly baffling set of skills. in his toolbox. Like the fact that he can do so many of the things that he can do is it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be real. And yet Claudio Castagnoli exists in the flesh in our lifetime, and I feel #blessed.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think like he should probably win some more matches, but aside from that, this was fantastic.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably the best thing was that almost botched spot that they managed to save from the top rope, because
yeah,
it looked like they were trying to angle, and they were trying to do it for an exceedingly long time. But it looked like they were both on the top rope, and it looked like they were gonna try the pop up uppercut in the corner
yeah,
on the top rope, but uh, Kevin Knight kind of flew backwards too far,
yeah,
and so instead of up, he went out, or rather
yeah,
in towards the center of the ring, and so he couldn't get the pop up part of it. So instead, Claudio's like, I'll make the best of it. Charged forward, flying uppercut that just flew him the other halfway across the ring.
yeah,
Like it was a pure chicken salad out of chicken shit moment,
yeah.
because it's Claudio, and that's what he does.
That's right.
That's what he does. Like oh my gosh, to me that was probably the most notable high spot in this match. But yeah, Kevin does win with the UFO splash from an obscene distance, and an absolutely heretical distance. but
Right.
he gets the clean win over Claudio, and then he gets on the mic and says that he feels like he wants, like, to me it's like, you just won the TNT title and you're already making a play for the world title again. Like, focus on one thing, young blood.
Yeah, he said Kevy 2 belts, and I was like, ew.
Ugh.
No,
Ugh.
no.
No, I don't want it. No, he'll get there eventually. He's probably a future world champ in the company within the next 5 years or so, but I not yet.
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
After that, Chris Jericho comes out, and followed very shortly by the Demand. And this is literally my favorite Jericho promo of like the last like 10 years. This was
Really?
so great. Like, yes, dude, the bald after every line, like the little shit he was doing, like I was like,
The
very
subliminal man thing.
yeah, very, very Lionheart of him in this promo. And that's my favorite version of Jericho. We know that from like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Wait, from 2 weeks ago on our last call in the ring, we know that Lionheart is my favorite version of Jericho. And this promo was very Lionheart like type of promo, like the type that he would do at that point, where he just like throws little shit in, and it doesn't even have to make sense in what he's saying. He just like, he would just say a lot of the promo and then say bald afterward.
Yep.
And
Dumb and stupid, or dumb and ugly. Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off so hard at this. And retrospectively, it's not even really that funny, but in the moment, it was fucking hilarious. And so apparently, now during this, the only other thing I really have to say about it is like during this, Ricochet said something to the effect of, you need to change your name to the guy who shows up every week and gets his ass beat by the Demand. And Chris Jericho trademarked the guy. Trademarked
the guy who gets his ass beat by the Demand every week that he shows up. It's the that he shows up bit at the end that gets me, because it's very clear that it's like, okay, well, he's not going to be there every week, like, which is, I mean, it's smart on his part to highlight that, because it's like, okay, he knows that he has been overexposed the past few years, so yes, give us a few weeks off here and there.
Yeah,
you know, it's an acknowledgement of the overexposure that he's given the audience. So
yeah.
So it's both funny and a little wink at the audience, saying that, yeah, okay, I hear you.
The trademark was the best shit, dude. That
yeah.
Like I
really want them to work it into the storyline this week. I want him to show up, and I want that to be on the Tron.
Yeah.
I want that whole phrase, the guy who gets his ass beat by this band every week that he shows up, to be right there under his name on the Tron.
That's the type of brilliance that like this is the type of shit that made us love Jericho in the first place. Like
Yeah.
this, like only he would do this type of shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really good. Um, After that, we go back to backstage after Dynasty with Renee Paquette and Don Callis and Okada, and uh,
Oh yeah,
Takeshita
Jericho
starts.
did get beat up at the
Oh
end of
yeah, he
this.
did get beat
Yeah.
up at the yeah he got beat up.
Nobody came out to save him.
No, which I imagine someone will eventually, but I don't know who.
I think probably Cope and Cage.
Uh,
Could you
Maybe.
imagine? Could you imagine that faction?
Hmm.
Three old Canadians from the Attitude Era who have a lot of chemistry with each other and a lot of history with each other. Jericho's been tag team champions with both of those guys.
Yeah.
Like he has history with both of them that runs pretty deep.
Yeah.
Like, and this could be a situation where instead of there being a leader, they could just be some old goofballs that just enjoy hanging out with each other and have a weird dynamic, especially with Christian being the asshole that he is now.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think you could get some mileage out of that if you're really not gonna have them Cage and Cope involved with the tag team title anymore, which I think is a mistake. I mean, at least going down the line, like I think you still want them in a ladder match with the Bucks and FTR at All In, but there's 3 months until All In, so maybe this is the interim thing that they do. They team up, they beat the demands, and then they go on.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got we go back to backstage after Dynasty and Renee Paquette's with Don Callis and Okada. Takeshita starts walking by, but Callis calls him back. And he asks what happened, and Takeshita's like, "Oh, it was an accident. I'm so sorry."
Yes. Oh my gosh. Him aping the entire character that Okada has cultivated since coming to AEW in this one moment. Like it all led to this moment.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It was great.
Okada got so pissed. He got so pissed. It was great.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I kind of like smart ass Takeshita. We need more of that.
Yeah.
After that, we stick with the Don Callis family, where we see we got Will Ospreay against Hechicero.
This was my match of the week.
I think it was mine too.
This was incredible. This is another one of those situations where I would somehow there are still Ospreay haters who say that he doesn't sell anything. It's like you show them this match because he was selling the whole time,
right?
And especially after he took that guillotine head scissors, like Hechicero, Big H looked like an absolute monster in this match. And honestly, Ospreay, even though he won clean with the hidden blade in the end, looked like he barely escaped by the skin of his teeth in this. I don't think Etch lost anything in this match. If you see one match besides the main event, which you should obviously see, if you see one other match besides the main event of this show, this is the one that I would recommend.
Yeah.
And Marina Shafir was ringside for some reason.
Yeah.
Checking it out.
Yeah. The only thing that I have negative to say about this match is that Don Callis did what I am now going to start calling the Peggy Hill entrance for Hechicero.
Well, yeah, Super Nintendo was definitely in there somewhere.
Yeah, and
so much so that even Tony Schiavone brought it up.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm gonna start calling it the Peggy Hill entrance because I know it's on purpose, but the Spanish in it is horrible.
Oh my god,
fuck off.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
It is designed to be offensive, and it succeeds in its objective.
It is, yeah. But anyway, so Osprey gets the hidden blade. He's staring at Shafir off the second rope, afterwards, and then Mark Davis comes out and attacks him.
He's Don Callis' Plan B.
Plan B, yeah.
Yeah.
But after that, we've got Renee Paquette up at the top of the ramp trying to, I guess, move the show along, and Tekla interrupts her.
Yep. And she talks about dumb bitches, which is my favorite thing that Tekla talks about. And then all of a sudden, when Alex Windsor comes out to kind of defend the honor of her tag team partner, Jamie Hayter. And Tekla has the great line. She's like, here I am talking about dumb bitches, and you magically appear. Like, she's it. She's that girl. Like, she's that girl, man. Like, strap in, folks, because I think we're in for a very long Tekla title reign, and I am here for it.
Yeah, I think we probably are. We might be in for it until Toni Storm is back.
Yeah, still no update on her condition or what's going on there, but
no,
the ladies are holding it down in her absence.
Yeah.
But yeah, they set up a world title match for Collision.
Yeah. After that, we've got Jon Moxley and the Death Riders backstage, and he's basically, going over Ospreay again. I'm assuming this isn't over between him and
Which
Ospreay.
Is weird, because the one who wants it to be over, or the one who's trying to move on, is seemingly Ospreay. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird that the guy who won essentially clean is the guy who isn't over it yet.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird, right? I'm interested to see where they're going with that.
Yeah, but then he goes on to address Nick Wayne, and he's like, I want you to surprise me. And this is Continental Rules, which means it's the grown-up stuff. So leave your mom in the back.
Great line, fantastic line. And then Marina comes in and basically says, "Yeah, he looks beat up, like having come back from the match with Ospreay and Hechicero.
Yeah,
like, why are you still like about this? I really want to know. It's bugging me. Like, if this was real life, I would be like, leave it alone.
Yeah,
like, you already beat him. Don't rub salt in the wound. But this is a pro wrestling context. This is fiction, and I'm very intrigued as to why the hell Moxley, who didn't want this in the first place and who beat him, won't leave it alone.
Yeah, it's
weird. I want to find out the reason behind that. Like, I'm very, very curious as to why.
Yeah. After that, we have our TBS championship match between Willow and a returning Camille. They set this up before Dynasty with a backstage attack.
And this was fine. It was broadly fine. It wasn't offensive. Camille's just not that good.
Nah, she's just not.
She was aggressive.
Yeah.
Throughout the match. I'll give her that. Her offense looked good, but like, it wasn't interesting. It wasn't unique. It wasn't anything like,
Yeah.
Honestly, we have this character already, and Megan Bain's better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think even you'd agree, and I know that you're not like the biggest Megan Bain fan out there.
Yeah, I'm even less of a fan of Camille. Like, I just, she just, I don't know, man. I'd find something, do something with her besides adding her to that already large lady duo. Because Lord knows the last thing we need is a third one.
They have a couple waiting in the wings in Ring of Honor too. So far as I can tell.
But they end this one with a deep backslide. I knew you were gonna say that.
I mean, it made sense for the story of the match, because after having attacked it at Dynasty, Camille was working the arm of the heavily taped up arm of Willow Nightingale throughout the whole match. Very old school psychology. You pick a body part and work it over. And it paid off because it meant that Willow couldn't hit the Babe with the powerbomb.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the backslide made sense, but I hate it. I hate it just on its own merits. I hate the backslide.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this at least they didn't move the belt over. We'll put that one away. This was probably the low light. It wasn't even really that bad. It really wasn't. It was a serviceable match. It was nothing special, but it was certainly not bad.
Yeah.
But honestly, everything was just leading up to what was going to happen next anyway.
Yeah. Well, after that, we have Sheeta and Statlander backstage.
Well,
and I'm pretty sure that my Sheeta needs to come back as a heel is coming to fruition.
Yep.
I mean, if you guys want to cop our ideas this bad, you could just write a check. Okay. Like, look, man, I'm starting a new job soon. Adam's got a job. But both of us would give up our current livelihoods for $100K and just work at home. You don't have to give me an office. You don't even have to give me tickets to the shows. Just phone call a couple times a week.
I mean, tickets would be nice.
I mean, they would be, but yeah, I mean, if you guys are gonna do exactly what we say, and not even a week after we say it is the crazy part. Like, it's like we said it, and then the next week she was gonna attack Statlander from behind with that kendo stick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna make any accusations. What I will say is that it's very clear that we're on the same wavelength on a lot of things.
Yeah. Now, I need what? Okay, so brag moment, real quick. Our viewership numbers tripled over the last couple of weeks. So, if any of you, 200 and some odd people, fucking crazy. If any of you 200 if any of you 200 some odd people happen to speak Japanese and can tell me what she has been saying, because I am positive that she is talking mad shit.
She is.
And I need to know what it is.
I saw on Blue Sky, there are a couple of accounts that they happen to be bilingual and they'll translate them. Basically, Sheeta was saying that I can't remember in this. I remember the one from Collision more because it was more recent. But I think that she's been saying, if I'm not mistaken, that she, even though she likes Statlander, it's you're still still stealing my spotlight and everything, and this, being kind of passive aggressive about things.
Okay.
That'll pay off on Collision, though. This is the second or third time that they've cut this kind of promo where it's half in Japanese, and Chris doesn't know Japanese, so she doesn't know that her partner is being kind of passive aggressive towards her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll
I remember. I remember specifically what was said on Collision when she gets called out, but we'll save that for a little bit later.
Yeah.
In the meantime, that sets up.
Sting shows up.
Yeah, Sting. Oh man, this is the point where I knew what was going to happen. They were not going to fly Sting all the way out to Everett, Washington, if it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And at this point, I was like, oh my God, we're going to see it. It's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen. I just didn't know how satisfying it would be until I saw it.
Right. And that moves us pretty quickly into our main event, the AEW World Championship match between Darby Allin and MJF.
Yeah. Now, this happened with 10 minutes left of the broadcast.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is about to happen? Because I
But you know
looked at the
what?
timer and I was like,
I
there's
didn't
like 5 minutes
flinch
left.
because I didn't flinch at all because they run over time all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. So, I mean, in fact, the last time they had an overrun, they ran over like with the Kenny segment. You know, we didn't cover it because it was a pay-per-view week. But the go home segment on Dynamite last week was the talking segment with MJF and Kenny, and that went almost half an hour over.
Yeah.
So this didn't faze me at all. I thought we were just in for, you know, a normal match that happened to have a nice ending. I didn't know how quick this was going to happen.
Yeah. It was really fast.
Yeah, it was one of those things where Tony's been doing a lot of this lately. He's been setting up your expectations and then subverting them in a way that's ultimately really, really pleasing.
Yeah.
This ended on time, but like in the best way possible.
Yeah.
I think maybe they overran by like 2 minutes or something like that.
Something
but
like that. It was real short.
It wasn't long.
Yeah.
So he comes out and you know, Darby has had, you know, they do a great job. Freaking Danielson did a great job and had this great line about Darby, you know, not having a plan and just being impulsive and living in the moment and stuff like that. And now he's had an hour and a half to stew on it. And now, because he doesn't normally have that, he's worried that Darby might get in his own head and screw himself over because of the doubt. Meanwhile, you contrast that with MJF, who always has a plan. That's why he wrestles so infrequently, so that he can, you know the trope within like comic book circles, like Batman can't be beaten as long as he has enough prep time. In a weird roundabout way, MJF is Batman. If he has prep time, he has a plan to beat you. And he only had an hour and a half to plan this because of his own hubris in not paying attention to the show and not being on social media and not paying attention to Tony Khan's phone calls, I'm sure. Like, you know, so it was this perfect storm of a storyline, and it was set up by a couple of things that happened at Dynasty. And the first thing being that in his title match with Kenny Omega at Dynasty, Bryce Remsburg insisted on getting the diamond ring from him at the outset of the match. And it played in here. He used that, MJF did, and said, oh, you know, bell rang, and said, oh, Aubrey, you probably want this, don't you? And he uses it as a distraction. So while she's taking it away and getting rid of the ring, he nails Darby in the nuts, right?
Yeah.
And he's about to take him over with the headlock takeover, but he gets pushed off into Aubrey. So Aubrey's distracted by that. She's caught up in the ropes, so she doesn't see that Darby returns fire with a low blow of his own.
Yeah.
He immediately goes into the Scorpion Death Drop. Tony Schiavone is great here too, because he immediately sees that. Somebody brought this up on Blue Sky, and it was absolutely 100% on point. That Tony said, pin him, because he recognizes that's Sting's finish. And it's like, he has so much respect for that. He's like, you can pin him right now. Like, he believes that he can pin him right now off of that. But instead, he goes up and hits a coffin drop. Max rolls out of the way to try and avoid, you know, the pin. But in so doing, the second thing that was set up from Dynasty takes place. Unlike MJF, Darby watched the show, and it's very clear because he watched the Continental title match. He saw the opening minutes of that, where Will Ospreay had Jon Moxley dead to rights, hitting 2 hidden blades right out the gate, and him not going for the cover.
Yeah.
And so he immediately goes up to the opposite corner, that MJF was rolling towards and hits a coffin drop from that one. Then he repositions him, goes to the third corner, hits one from there. MJF starts rolling again, all four corners with coffin drops. And then, to make good on his promise, he picks him up, hits him with the headlock takeover, and pins him. 1, 2, 3. Brand new AEW World Champion.
Ugh.
Best squash possible. Feeds into stuff that we already know about MJF. Like earlier this year, we saw that if he's not taking his opponent seriously, or if he's unprepared, or both, with the Brody squash, that you can beat him pretty easily if you catch him off guard at the beginning and take advantage quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about this was set up months in advance. The storytelling here to set this up was absolutely immaculate.
Yeah.
Never in my life have I been so happy to see a squash match for a world title, because it was the culmination of all these storyline beats and aspects that had been set up for literal months, in some cases years, because just the rivalry between them and the headlock takeover has been set up for literally 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
Everything about this was phenomenal. Even Excalibur on the call was freaking out when it happened, like the true fan that he is. Oh my god! It was so satisfying, and I know that this is divisive in the fan base. I know it is. I'm drawing my battle line here. I think it was amazing. I think it was awesome. One of the best things that they could have done.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was great. I literally was locked in from the beginning of the show to this point in anticipation of this, and it delivered everything I wanted, because after that Kenny match, all any of us wanted to see was MJF get the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
That's all anybody wanted to see, and that's what we got. I mean, except MJF fans aside, that's what we wanted, and that's what we got.
Yep.
And the fact that a bunch of shit happened on WrestleMania this weekend, and come tomorrow when this podcast is posted, people are still going to be talking about Darby.
Yeah. And how AEW had the much better show by all accounts.
AEW did half the amount of wrestling time this week and had way better wrestling and way better
and way more actual wrestling.
Yeah, way more actual wrestling, I'm pretty sure. If we put all 4 hours together, I bet there's probably more than was on WrestleMania by at least half an hour.
Yeah. Probably more, honestly.
Probably.
And but not nearly as many ads.
Yeah. But I'm not mad at this, and I saw people who were, and I don't understand it.
It was very divisive.
Yeah.
Online from what I saw. There was no middle ground on this. You either loved this decision or you hated it. And I don't hold anybody in contempt if they hated it. You're certainly entitled to your incorrect opinion. Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, this was absolutely the right call for multiple reasons, not the least of which being that it was some of the best wrestling TV I have ever seen.
Yeah, it was really good. Dynamite was fucking amazing this week.
Yeah, I mean they couldn't really follow it up with Collision. There was nothing that was going to follow this up though. So that's honestly kind of the monkey's off your back already. Because what could?
Right.
What could?
And that being said, Dynamite was great, and we'll move on to Collision here right away. And before we get to Collision, this weekend, Ship Libman says we have found another.
Yes, we found another person who just doesn't get it. Just doesn't get it. This one is a kind of a setup. It's a reply to a post on Blue Sky here. Matthew Dowd sets us up. How does ESPN justify covering WWE, etc., as a legitimate sport? In fact, In fact, they feature it on all their talk shows. Is astounding. It is fake and merely an entertainment platform. To which our true shit Libin says, is not quiet mode md.bsky.social. It's right-wing homoerotic soap opera, aka bread and circuses.
Okay.
What do you think,
All
Aaron?
Right. Ship.
What do you think?
Yeah, you prick. Look, aside from the overall condescending tone, this man reaches zero wrestling fans, and the reason I say that is because of this. If you call wrestling homoerotic, you're right. First of all, you're correct. None of us care. None of us care. Some of the best wrestling stories and characters in the past 50 years or so have been homosexual presenting. So am I bothered by that? Absolutely not. Wrestling is a form of theater. It is. It's a form of acrobatic theater. As far as the bread and circuses line, motherfucker, who are you to tell us that we can't have our bread and circuses amidst what we're having right now? Okay, look, everybody, to a person, almost every wrestling fan that I've interacted with over the last like 2 or 3 years, this is their escape from the everyday bullshit that we're having to deal with. If you want to call it bread and circuses, fine, but don't do it derogatorily so, because the government isn't providing this shit for us. This is what we're going and seeking out in order to have an escape from the shit that we have to deal with from our own government if you're an American, and from our government if you're a citizen of any country who's being detrimentally affected by us. So, like, guy, if you had talked to even one wrestling fan before you said this stupid shit, they would have told you that everything you're saying, okay, technically, in some cases, you're right. Okay, cool. But being right doesn't preclude being an asshole either.
Yeah.
So, cool, you're right, but you're also a dick. I'm pretty sure Germans have a word for that. I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out, because there has got to be some kind of amalgamatory word for you're right, but also an asshole. So yeah, I mean, cool. It's a homoerotic display. Whatever. Who gives a shit? It's also acrobatic and athletic and fun to watch if you're into wrestling. If you're not into it, you're not into it. Who gives a shit? But this is the basis of Ship Libman, though. This is the type of people that we're dealing with in this particular segment of our show, where they're just oblivious to the fact that every condescending fucking point that they have about wrestling is one that we've come to accept and embrace for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, you can't say, like, it's like when you approach a kid and the kid is doing something that you don't understand, and you try to tell them how it's wrong or it's weird or whatever, they just don't care. And it's frustrating on your end because they don't care. And that's all these Ship Libman people are doing to themselves, is getting frustrated at the fact that we don't cease having fun at their behest, basically.
Yeah. God forbid. The world is just so incredibly harrowing right now. Let us have whatever their hobbies are, we're not stomping on them. I don't know if this guy's a baseball fan or a football. Like, I'm sure they have their own escapes, and we ain't crapping all over their cake. So let us have ours.
and I'm sure that, there's plenty of cake I could crap on. And that's the thing. Like, This guy has MD in his name tag. You don't got better shit to do. That's all I'm thinking. Okay. Granted, I myself am working on a doctorate. And once doctor is in front of my name, I'm probably still going to do this podcast. But I'm definitely not going to spend all my time as a doctor shitting on people's enjoyment on a random social media site.
Yeah.
I might just have better shit to do with my time than that. So
and being a doctor is really stressful, and I get that, but that doesn't mean you have to take it out on everybody else.
No, take it out on the IT department.
A slight difference of opinion with.
Take it out on your IT department and nurses, like all the other doctors do.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But
don't do that.
From experience as an IT guy for doctors,
and especially not the nurses.
Yeah, don't do it to the nurses, but leave your IT guy alone too, asshole.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think
stuff doesn't get done without the nurses. Please don't do that to the nurses.
We've established that this guy's a dick. So, yeah I think that's where we sit with Ship Libman. And moving on to back to our own enjoyment, because I do enjoy tearing you people apart, but I enjoy wrestling more. 20 years ago, I would have enjoyed the tearing you apart a lot more than wrestling. Okay, but
he would have done it with a lot of flair too.
Oh yeah,
let me tell you, this is a man who introduced himself to me in a promo in EFED by having his character spit in my character's face as a way of saying hi, how are you? So yeah, this.
How are you? How you doing?
I can attest to this.
So yeah. Now, this guy, I mean, this is a stupid statement on his part, but this is not close to the stupidest Ship Libman that we've covered on this show even. So
probably won't even.
If you were waiting for one of my rants and really going in on this guy, he got off light because it was pretty light compared to some others. I promise there will be others. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There will be others. There will be somebody who. We're gonna get a Ship Libman event. We're gonna get a Ship Libman in here who says the F word eventually, and it's gonna be over. And I've gone on that rant before, but I know you guys love it. We always get a tick up in viewership whenever I do that. So apparently, you like it.
We may try to keep things relatively positive, but we all know you like a little bit of vinegar in there too.
My vinegar doesn't come with racism, so I get a pass. So anyway, that said, on to AEW Collision for this week, also from Everett, showing on Thursday this week.
Although strangely, this episode they said was from, even though it was very clearly taped after Dynamite, is the same arena with the same fans and everything. For some reason, they mostly refer to it as Seattle this episode.
Yeah, which is weird.
It was really strange. Like, I know why you would do that on a normal week, because Seattle's the bigger market. You want to appear bigger than you even are, and it was advantageous for them to refer to Everett this week for Dynamite because it had close personal ties to Darby Allin specifically. But, like, why not carry that through to the next TV show? I don't know. When it was very clearly the same place. I don't know why. You pick one and stick to it, right?
Right.
It's not like you went to a different venue in the Seattle area.
Right.
So
it's a 30-minute drive between the two.
Yeah.
So
I think they're like 25 miles apart or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like a big it looks like a big metro area. So it's for outsiders.
Anyway,
Seattle.
Anyway, it was weird.
Yeah,
it ultimately inconsequential and just kind of weird.
Yeah. But we started off with Adam Copeland coming out, sporting
this crowd. You can tell this crowd was blown up.
Yeah.
From the emotional experience of seeing Darby win the belt, because they were barely even singing along with this song.
Right. and yet still singing along with this more than Judas.
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna say this. I know we're kind of backtracking a little bit, but the in-house fans do not seem to be too high on Jericho.
I think he's gonna win them over, though.
I mean, if he keeps doing promos like that, he will. Yeah.
Yeah, if he stays the course, I think eventually he's gonna win them back. I really, really do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the magic of Chris Jericho is that he somehow, despite all of the odds, seems to continue to find new ways to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he just needs to find the method. And I think a big part of this method for him going forward is not being omnipresent.
Yeah.
Like he was the last 2 years of his most recent run before he took a year off.
Yeah.
You know, not being there every single week and taking up so much time. But like that's only part of the puzzle. I think the rest of it is just finding out like how to connect with the audience on their level again and meet them halfway.
Yeah.
And I think he's on his way to doing. I mean, you couldn't tee up a more perfect opponent for him than Ricochet for that.
If we want to win people back, yeah, because we all hate Ricochet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and honestly, like it's a win-win for everybody because Ricochet gets to work with Jericho, and so more importantly, because Ricochet doesn't really need it as much as GOA needs it.
Yeah.
Like they get to work with him, and that's probably a lot bigger for them than it is for Ricochet.
Yeah.
Like it's you know, they're gonna get a lot of knowledge from that, and hopefully, honestly, like hopefully a trios title run. Like I'm sick and tired of like dangling the carrot in front of GOA. Like give them something.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, either a tag run or probably more likely a trios title run with Rico.
Yeah. But so we started off our night with Adam Copeland coming out. He's got the black eye. He's got lots of bruises. He's got a big old staples in his forehead. Yeah, and
I didn't realize that one belt shot did so much damage. Like
I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure that was a hard way. Dude, I'm just the way it
I
looks,
think so too. Sure like I went back and watched it, and I heard the smack of it against his face. Like, do you know how hard you have to hit somebody for that to actually make a sound?
Pretty hard.
He just railed him with it.
Yeah, it was the fact that there was no blood on his forehead before he got hit with the belt.
Yeah,
like if he had bladed, there would be like trickle or something, and then open it up, you know. But like.
You see it immediately. You see it opening up in real time.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that was hard way, which fucking ow.
If it wasn't hard way, that is the best, stealthiest blade job I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. If it wasn't hard way, it was stealthy, and
that was the best gig I've ever seen.
I don't know. I've seen so many good ones. I've seen so many go wrong. That
Brett was really good at it.
Yeah, but like this, if this was stealthy, it was one of the best I've ever seen, and I don't think that was the case.
I think you're right. I think this was hard way. Yeah. It benefited the match.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it really ups the intensity and the drama. You know, happy accident, I guess, in that regard. Stitches and staples be damned.
Right.
But yeah. He came out and he said that Christian wasn't here because he was getting MRIs on his forearm after the way they worked him over. He said that he was working on a way around FTR not granting them any more title shots. They wanted to take a pound of flesh, blah, blah, blah. And then FTR came out, distracted him for a little bit, and then RPG Vice comes back and they beat the tar out of him.
Yeah.
And then, of all people, to make the save, I mean, it makes sense on the to against the Don Callis family, I guess, and FTR, but in terms of saving Adam Copeland is still a little weird. The Young Bucks come out and they help clear house. Interesting.
Yeah.
I imagine at some point down the line, within the next 2 weeks, we'll see FTR and RPG Vice versus Cage, Copeland, and the Bucks. Babyfaces will probably win.
Yeah.
And then that'll set up another title match, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe like a 3-way or a 4-way.
I mean, I can't imagine them putting RPG Vice in that, but I mean, they don't win. It's so weird. They're the established tag team in the Don Callis family, and they don't win anything.
Nothing.
Like, ever.
Yeah. That's because Rocky Romero's in there,
like,
man.
Aren't they like 3 or 4 time IWGP tag team champions too?
I think
like,
so.
They've got like,
if not tag
a pretty
champs,
good resume.
Junior tag champs at least. At least junior tag champs.
Yeah. 4-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, and the winners of the Super Junior Tag Tournament in 2016.
Okay, yeah. Let's say Super Juniors. I figured I thought they had won one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, this was a continuation of Copeland at really good spears. Like the spear that he got off on.
Beretta just mowed through.
And then the way he landed, like face up right in front of the camera, like that. The angle was perfect. The spear itself was really good. I was like, man, like when he hit him, I was like, oh, there's another one for Adam's list. Like, damn, he keeps doing good ones. After that, we've got Jack Perry backstage real quick talking about how he's got, he's got the national championship. He wants to defend it. And he told Don Callis to provide his biggest and baddest face for him to go against for the title next week. Now, he's already beat Mark Davis, right? So, Archer?
Yeah, maybe? Probably Archer. Archer hasn't had a match in a long time.
Yeah, and it's going to be really weird for him to come back in this one to get beat by Jack Perry.
Yeah, I do feel like that's where Jack really shines, though.
Yeah.
Is playing the Shawn Michaels Diesel kind of dynamic. Being the little guy to the big guy. Like he has excellent chemistry as being the David to somebody's Goliath.
Yeah. After that, we go back to the ring where the Young Bucks are still there from their entrance earlier, and they are here to take on the Rascals, which are Zachary Wentz and Myron Reed. And
it's the first time that those two have teamed up in a tag match in AEW thus far.
Yeah, and what a hell of a match it was, man.
Yeah, this is nuts. This is crazy. Myron Reed takes some crazy bumps.
Dude, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Unnecessary bumps. Like that, the thing, the inside out cutter from the inside off the apron all the way to the floor.
Oh, dude, that was crazy. I was
like that's the second time I've seen him do that. And each time I'm like, how do you have feeling in your legs right now? Because that should have broken your back. Because you're just landing flat on your back after jumping. What? He's jumping over the top rope to do it. So that's a good.
That's 4
10 feet in the air.
Yeah, from the ground to the top rope.
Good 9-10 feet.
Probably 8 or 9 feet at least. And he's
jumping over that rope to do it.
Yeah.
So like, oof, those are concrete floors under that thin padding, man.
Yeah.
Like you can't. That's a bump that's really, really impressive. Save it for the big matches.
Yeah.
Save it for your big tag team title matches or your TNT title match. Like don't do that every match, please, because I want to see you walking away from every match that you have, please. Yeah. Oh my Lord, I don't want to be one of those people that shames people for the wrestling style. I really don't want to do that. But I am genuinely scared that he's going to paralyze himself if he keeps doing that.
Right. The Bucks get the win here with the TK driver. And but right after the match is over, they're attacked by the dogs, who get on the mic and say, "We want gold."
Yeah, we may be one dog short, but we like.
Yeah,
You have to you have to figure that even though it was probably the plan to move the belts to the conglomeration anyway, because it was Kyle's comeback and everything, you know, they probably would have had an extended program with over the trios belts if Gabe Kidd hadn't gotten injured.
yeah.
And now they're just to be like, okay, well, what do you do with them? All right, you might as well throw them in the tag title hunt.
Yeah.
You know, I guess.
I mean, we could have euthanized these two
to
as
be
well.
fair, it is the two of the three that I like better. So I'm I'm not really like complaining too much.
Like, I don't hate seeing their faces, but I mean, we'll see how long that lasts. You know?
Yeah, like, we'll see.
After that, we have a really cool little video package with Divine Dominion.
Yeah, this was done for a very specific set of fans.
Yeah.
This was done who like the large ladies and want them stepped on. Want them to step on them. That's like that's who this is for.
Yeah.
And we don't kink shame on this show, so have at it, boys and girls. And non-NBs and what have yous.
After that, we've got a trios eliminator match between Lethal Twist and Conglomeration.
Why isn't it the Lethal Swirl?
I don't know. And I don't know, man. And I keep calling them Lethal Swirl because that's what it should be.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. This match was good.
Yeah.
This match was real good. Like, especially after, like, right before the first commercial break, where Lethal takes out Kyle O'Reilly's leg with the title belt on the outside.
Yeah.
Like, once they start building the 3-on-2 stuff, Blake Christian, again, seems to find these moments, like, to maximize his minutes. And he's doing the thing with he's matching Orange.
Oh, dude, that was
lazy
awesome.
move for lazy move.
Yeah.
Like, the dude's got it, man. The dude's got it. Blake Christian, like, keep your eye on him because he's gonna be something. He's gonna be something. He's got a really, really just clever mind for this.
I love how Nigel tried to figure out what part of the twist Jay Lethal was.
He's the nuts on top, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
But I think that's what he came to. I think that was the conclusion that he arrived at. He's the nuts on top. Yeah. And that makes sense, given Jay Lethal's history. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this match was, I think, really, really good. I like the trio. I like the Lethal kind of being the mentor to the Swirl. Especially, I will take Jay Lethal on TV if it means it gets the Swirl on TV. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's a good trade-off for me. Even though Jay Lethal is kind of sketchy. But yeah, no, I thought this was great. I thought Blake Christian especially came out looking really good. It was especially, you know how much I love a Roddy hot tag.
Yeah.
So I noticed that Roddy was holding back on it when he got tagged in, so that Kyle's hot tag at the end of the match would be more impressive. And that, to me, is not only a sign of a true friend, but also a true veteran. Because he knows his place now. I mean, not that he ever didn't. But, like, you know, he's not the hot tag guy anymore.
Yeah.
Kyle's the hot tag guy now. So I like that he toned it back. Like, it was very evident to me as a big fan of the Roddy hot tag. I still say he has one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
I really, really do believe that. But I'm so happy that Kyle's back and that he's healthy It's winning with an ankle lock.
Yeah.
And he's wrapping his legs around it. Shoddy Lee takes the L here. But yeah, this was good. I like this. I think this was probably this was right on par with the previous tag match. I think they're like 2 and 2A in terms of match quality. Like, I loved the main event of Dynamite, but it was more of a moment than it was a match necessarily. It was a brilliantly done psychological match in and of itself, but in terms of just as a match, that was more of a moment.
Yeah.
And this was more of an exhibition. And as an exhibition, I think that like this and the Young Bucks and Rascals, that's like 2 and 2A. I'm not really sure which one I liked better, but they were both just behind Hechicero and Will Ospreay this week.
Yeah.
In terms of what my favorite thing was in match-wise.
After that, we have a continuation of the laziest told story in AEW right now.
I remember when Hook was interesting.
How did he become the boss of the Ops and get less interesting?
I don't. Well, I mean, talking to Shibata about this cool coffee shop sure isn't doing him any favors.
No.
Who cares? Like, yeah, I get it, you're in Seattle. It's the home of Starbucks, blah, blah, blah. I get coffee culture there is big and whatnot. But, like, that's not what... You are supposed to be this de facto leader of this group of killers, and you're talking about a coffee shop?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Anyway,
at this point,
Anthony
Bowen's getting isn't even going to... At this point, Bowen's getting
I don't think he's going to get in. I think they're going to turn on him. Because Joe is apparently good to go.
But, like, either way, it... Like, I'm so disinterested in the payoff because of the way they've done the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, stop, and all that. Like, I'm just... This is...
Yeah, meanwhile, Hook isn't even wrestling. Like, he hasn't wrestled this entire time.
Shibata isn't wrestling.
Yeah. Like, why... I was skeptical of Hook being the leader of the thing anyway, and now it looks like he may not even be the leader because Joe is healthy. Yeah. Like, and he's going to be coming back soon. Like, I'll say this. If this is leading to Anthony Bowens working a program with Samoa Joe, maybe it'll be worth it.
Maybe.
But this is one storyline where, aside from the Bowens matches that we've been treated to, because those have been very good.
Yeah. Aside
from those matches, the build to this thing has been largely flat.
Yeah. It's been boo-boo. After that, do you hear that, Adam?
I think that it's the cry of a giant condor.
It is.
Oh, look, it's a pair of them. It's Big Ann and Danica De La Rouge. Our giant condors of the week, having faced off against Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida and having gone down in about 2.5 minutes. Yep. It was not long, and it was not competitive.
No, not at all.
No. But Shida, interestingly, she looked, whereas the last match that these two had as a tag team, Shida looked kind of annoyed that Statlander tagged herself in and then finished off their competition and took the glory from her by pinning, taking the pin. Shida offered Statlander the pin this time, the finishing off, and it's like, okay, so she's setting something up now. Okay, all right, I see you, Shida.
Yeah,
I see you, Boo. Yeah, I see you.
So yeah, that was our Condor of the week. Nice 2.5 minute little squash match there. And after that, we've got a Continental Championship Eliminator match with Jon Moxley against the ROH World TV Champion, still weird, Nick Wayne.
Yeah, they never stripped him.
Yeah, that's weird. 6 months
They,
gone
they
with
said
that
it was.
injury and never
In fact,
stripping.
they made a point to note that he had been TV champion for nearly a year
Yeah,
to the day almost. And it's like, wow, he was gone injured for like 5-6 months.
yeah,
They
something like
didn't
that.
even bother stripping him
Like,
or
what's going on
doing
down
an
there?
interim title holder or anything like
Yeah,
that.
usually they do that in ROH, so I don't know why
Yeah,
they didn't do it.
they just must really love Nick Wayne and want to roll out the red carpet for him. And I am of that opinion too. Like I've long seen the same things that they see in him.
Yeah,
And this match was just a reminder of that because both of these guys were excellent here. They really, really were. Nick Wayne entered this match, smarmy little overconfident shit, and by the end of the match, he was a total babyface.
yeah,
Total underdog, never give up babyface.
yeah.
Like it was a, a great story told, and Mox throughout the whole thing was like he didn't want to hurt the kid. He didn't want to do it. He's like, but he's getting under my skin though. Like
Yeah.
he's being a little shit. Like it was really it was ran about 15 minutes. They did the announcement that 15 minutes had gone by and pretty much immediately went to the finish. Death Rider did it, but like it was this was a nice journey. I liked this a lot.
Also, another possible hard way.
Yeah, and I think it added again. I think hard ways add to the match more often than not, and this one just made Wayne look like even more of a contender. I feel like I think it really, really helped him actually.
Yeah, like this was another one that if it was a blade job, it was stealthy because I rewound like 3 or 4 times trying to see where he would have done it, and then
I'm
he
not
got kicked
sure
in the face
where.
and it just
Was it the moonsault or was it the kick?
no, he kicked him in the eye, and it like
was it the kick?
immediately, yeah, he kicked him like right in the eye, and I was like, that's gotta be a potato. Which for those of you, for the uninitiated, when a potato means they really hit them, and
usually on purpose.
Usually a potato's on purpose, but also a lot of times it can just be, not knowing your positioning, not
friendly
knowing
fire.
Where to pull, friendly fire. Yeah. Terry Funk was a legendary thrower of potatoes.
Yeah.
The man came to the ring with a potato
he grew
sack.
A whole farm of them.
Yeah. But I mean, when your punches look that good, they got to be potatoes, basically. But that I think this was a hard way, probably just a potato, and
accident.
Yeah, just an accident,
but it served.
Mox was the type of person who could let it slide, and plus, like I've said many times, a stiff breeze would make him bleed. So a stiff kick to the forehead. I mean,
he likes bleeding. He's not going to be upset about that. If anything, it probably endeared him to him more.
Yeah, it probably did actually.
I think this was a great kind of reintroduction of Nick Wayne. I could see him being a big baby face.
Yeah,
coming off the heels of this, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think the kick endeared him because I mean it's like Moxley just pops up, grabs his forehead, you made me bleed my own blood, Simpson.
And this was in front of a hometown crowd for Nick.
Yeah.
So I mean there is that to consider. But like this reminded me of the gutsy performance that Moxley had in the semifinals, specifically of the C2 last year.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me a lot of that, where like he walked in as a heel, and by the time that match was over, everybody was rooting for him just because off the strength of his gutsiness in that performance. Like this reminded me a bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit.
And especially since he doesn't have a story right now. Like, I mean, you could put him back in Christian Cage's orbit if you wanted to, but I feel like enough time has passed where you don't need to do that.
No, you don't need to do that. He's got Super Juniors coming up. I don't think he really needs a story. He's going to be doing.
No, he's going to be off for a month in Japan doing Super Junior stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So
I still got to find a way to watch that.
Yeah. I still have my. That reminds me, I still have my New Japan World subscription. I I got it to watch Wrestle Kingdom and then forgot to cancel it.
Yeah, yeah. After
So
that,
maybe I'll stick around and we can both watch Super Junior stuff. I can give you my login.
oh yeah, that'll work. After that, we've got Lexi there backstage with the Don Callis family, and he's talking to Okada or she's talking to Okada and Don Callis about what's going on between Okada and Takeshita, and Don Callis is saying that they're not going to have a match, but Okada stops him and says he wants the match.
Yeah. Yeah. So eventually, later on in the show, Tony Khan made it official and made this guy very, very happy because I'm going to see that live.
I saw that and I was like, oh, man.
So excited. So excited. I've been waiting for this match for over a year. Like, for them to actually do it and do it properly. Like, they teased us with the C2 semis where Okada cheated to win with the belt not on the line. And it was the right call in the right moment, but like we've been waiting since November to see this followed up on, and I'm so glad that I'm going to get to see it live. Oh, so excited.
Dude, it's going to be awesome. After that, for those of you who follow me on Blue Sky, you probably saw me publicly, very, very publicly tell AEW to their face that this was stupid because I believe it was stupid. Okay. And I'm positive the man on the other screen here differs in my opinion, but I thought that this shit was fucking dumb. Okay. Like, of all the great shit that happened this week at AEW, this Pac and Lio Rush match, one, did not go the way I thought it was going to go. Not as far as like the who won or anything, but just the way I thought it was going to go. And two, like, whatever this Blackheart character is, currently, I am not in that camp. I'm sitting outside of it going, what is up with those weirdos over there? Because this shit, like, anybody else, and it would have made sense. Anybody else. But you're going to tell me that little shit in the condition that he is in scared Pac? What?
I don't. You're right. I do differ in opinion. What I will say is this: I think that the match went on a little too long for what it was.
Yeah.
I feel like they hit all the notes that they needed to hit, but there was a bunch of like stuff in the middle that kind of drew things out a little bit too long. I love the fact that there is someone that can unnerve Pac. That's fleshing out a character for him. Like, there's somebody who can creep him out. Danny Garcia was brilliant throughout this whole thing because he was because he was scared shitless. Like, he wanted none of this. Like, there was at one point where he was stomping on him, but that was only after he'd been knocked to the ground by Pac, and that there was an opportunity for him. And even with the stomps, he was like, no, stay down, stay down. It was more like he was squashing a spider that he was afraid of that he was angry about. He's like, no, stay. No, don't you dare get up. I'm going to make sure that you don't get up because you're freaky. And there was at one point where he was like trying to like, it was like he was trying to exercise him. He was like throwing water at him like it was holy water. Yeah. Like, I thought Danny was freaking, like, everybody was in. As a piece of theater, I think this was incredible because even though there are still a lot of questions about the Blackheart character, how did he get this way, for one thing? What is he possessed? Did he have a psychotic break? Lots of questions about it. I don't think anybody can take away from the fact that I don't think anybody's committed to a character quite like this. Lio Rush is committed.
For me, it remains to be seen if we're going to get like a fleshed out, legitimately mentally ill, crazy character, or if he is just leaning as far as he can because he's not sure where to go.
I know that I can guarantee that TK wants to see it through, because this is the first thing that he's actually done with Leo Rush as a singles, and real like he's been on TV every week since he debuted the character in that Battle Royal.
Yeah,
like he clearly sees something in it. I think it's the same thing that I see in it. Is like there's no other character that's like this on TV. Nobody can do this kind of character and move, because nobody can move the way that Leo Rush does. Nobody can do that weird, creepy gallop, four-legged gallop thing. Nobody can like twist and contort their body like he can. Nobody can get that weird cadence that he has with these screams that he's doing. It's all very unsettling. And when you are a 5'4", 150-pound athlete, you are the smallest person in the ring at all times. It makes sense as a psychological tactic to get whatever advantage that you can psychologically, because you ain't going to be advantaged physically, except in the speed department.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I don't know, though, if this is like in the kayfabe of the character that this is on purpose, or if it's something that is afflicting him.
Yeah.
And that's, I think the answer to that question is what determines how I feel about it as a whole. Like, if it's an affliction, it's like, okay, well, I still kind of like it, but it's not as interesting as him being intelligent to know what gets under people's skin and just goes to the extreme with it. To me, that represents a more cerebral, out-of-the-box thinking character. But even then, that only works if he wins with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work when he passes out with a smile on his face to the brutalizer like he did here.
Yeah.
Which, to me, suggests that it's an affliction and not something that he's actively, consciously choosing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, I always will give it a shot, but I'm still kind of Yuri's out on this one.
I think, I like you implied. I really, really liked this from a performance standpoint. I don't know where it goes, and that's I'm kind of on the fence about that. Yeah. I will admit that, because I don't know where you go with a character like this unless you plan on actually explaining some things eventually about it.
Yeah. After that, we've got another.
Tonight was not that night.
Yeah. It was that. After that,
I do like though that Pac and Danny immediately got out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Once it was over, it was like Pac's like, I don't want to stick around for any more of this freaking weirdness. I'm gone.
Yeah.
And Danny was like, please, can we go? Can we please go? I want to leave. I'm practically peeing my pants. Like, please, can we go? Like, I thought, like, again, from a performance aspect, I don't think they could have done any better than they did at conveying their characters in their interactions with each other.
Yeah. After that, we've got another quick squash match, trios match, where Brody King, Mascara Dorada, and Mystico take on Cole Rivera, KC Riff, and Ricky Gibson. I mean, that went about how you would think it would go. So, but yeah, it was basically a little bit of high flying till they threw Gibson into Brody King for a Gonzo bomb. Maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It wasn't very long.
Not even.
And then after that, we go backstage to Lexi Nair, and she's with Statlander and Sheeta. And then Mina Shirakawa shows up.
Yeah.
And basically says
we were alluding to earlier.
Yeah, she doesn't trust Sheeta and that she thinks that she's the one who did the Tony Storm thing is what we're alluding to here. But then they start yelling at each other in Japanese, and
from what I've been informed by a little bit of research, is that Shida said to Mina, I'm surprised that you should be more concerned with getting results and getting wins than showing your chest.
Oh,
so yeah. They have a match on Dynamite now, and that is going to be some proper Joshi stuff, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
They're going to hit each other hard and do some cool moves. It's going to be great. Good time.
It's going to be a good match. Yeah. After that, we got a little video package about Darby's championship win that we already have talked about. And then after that, we have our main event for the evening, a women's world championship match between Tekla and Alex Windsor.
This was not quite as good as I hoped it would be, honestly.
Yeah.
If I'm being frank, like, it was fine, but it was a lot like the TBS title match. It was a little bit longer. It was a little bit better than that, but it was just like, it was just kind of there. And this is like, I didn't watch Collision this week on Thursday when it was live. I like watching it on Saturday nights, even when it's not broadcast on Saturday nights, because that way it's fresher in my memory for this show. I had kind of a late start on it last night, and I fell asleep through the last two matches, so I had to catch up this afternoon after I got home from work. And I was fully wide awake and everything and cognizant, and seeing this match, it was just like, this isn't really as interesting as I wanted it to be.
No.
You know?
It wasn't. I figured it would be better really between the two of them.
Disappointed. I was sad. I was like, I like both of these ladies. I guess I was just hoping that they would beat the crap out of each other a little bit more.
Yeah, I was hoping for
a little more
brawling.
Physical.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. It seemed like
a little
just
more
like,
energy.
Yeah, a little. It seemed like kind of low energy, very lackadaisical with one another. Like
I wouldn't go that far. That kind of implies that they were being lazy.
No, I wouldn't say lazy. So. It fell victim to some of the things that a lot of women's matches fall victim to, where you're expecting, especially with these two, you're expecting like an ass beating fest. Yeah, and that's just not what you got. Yeah,
it was a little too drawn out, little too slowly paced.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter have established characters for themselves that are quick to anger and quick to take care of it. They're kind of APA like in a way. No nonsense, just beat you up and stuff like that. So I was kind of hoping that, this would be more physical. And Tekla is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Yeah.
So, she can take it. She's tough. But yeah, like, it seemed like it was just kind of drawn out.
Yeah.
I did like the finish, though. The brass knucks return.
Yeah.
I don't know where she had hid them. Maybe in her bra or something like that. But all of a sudden they appeared on her fists while she was standing in the corner outside of the referee. The part I liked too is that she threatened to hit it and then Windsor caught it.
Yeah.
And then looked like it wasn't going to be a factor. But as soon as she flipped over her to do the sunset powerbomb out of the corner, it opened her back up to the opportunity to get hit in the face with brass knucks.
Yeah.
Did that and the curb stomp later, and she went. So I like the finish. I liked how that came about, the sequence of events there. But yeah, the match as a whole,
yeah,
it's too bad because I do like. I mean, it's no secret that I enjoy Windsor, but that I adore Tekla.
Yeah.
So this was a little bit disappointing that this wasn't like up to that same level. Like her match with Jamie Hayter was way more interesting.
Yeah,
like that was, I was hoping kind of for like a slightly different flavor of that, and this was not quite as hard hitting as I had hoped.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. It just a little slower than I would have expected, a little less physical. And that's really what I was looking for this one, and it just really didn't give me what I was expecting. Wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I was expecting. So. But that said, Collision was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good week of wrestling.
It was good. Yeah, I mean, nothing could beat that Dynamite.
No.
Like there was no shot at anything beating Dynamite for the emotional weight that it carried.
Yeah. Dynamite was really good this week. So really good week of wrestling.
With that said, I think there's just one thing left to do then, right?
Yeah. It's do like the pros do and call it in the ring.
That's right. So this week, the Darby title win got me thinking, like, this was obviously something that was planned for a very long time. They made sure to set up certain story beats to inform this moment. But to some people, a lot of the detractors were like, well, this kind of came out of nowhere. It didn't. It wasn't. It was set up. It was just not maybe necessarily in a completely linear fashion. And to be fair, having a feud with Gabe Kidd leading into this, could have been better. And the Andrade feud was built over only about 2 weeks, really. So, like, I understand those criticisms. I don't think that it necessarily lends credence to the idea that it came out of nowhere. But it led me into the idea of, what if it needed to be out of nowhere? At this moment in time, with the available players that you have on the table that are healthy and for storyline reasons could happen, what if you needed to change the world titles, the men's and the women's, taking everything else into consideration? What if you needed to do it, and you needed to do it now? So I compiled top 5 lists for both the men's and the women's world title, and Aaron has done the same, and we are going to compare notes and see what we would do and the rationales behind our choices. So let's start with the women's title, since that's not in need of it right now. So if there was a need, it would be more immediate, I think. Because there's no reason Tekla should not be champion right now, other than an emergency. So do you want to go from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5? Like,
5 to 1.
Okay. So who's your number 5 then?
Probably Mina.
Yeah. I have her as my number 5 as well.
Yeah, she'd be my number 5. Just the Tony Storm spheres of influence, basically, for that one. But also, she's really over. People like her. It wouldn't be. I don't think the fans would revolt if it were her.
I don't either. Like I said, she's number 5 for a reason. There are 4 other women who I would probably prioritize before her, but she would have a lot of sympathy coming off the Tony Storm thing, and sympathy can lead to momentum. That's what every babyface needs. I mean, she's a good worker. She's over. And if you wanted to do the twist where she was the one who attacked Tony in the first place, you could have her turn heel. When Tony comes back and outs her as her attacker in the first place. Sets that up. Immediate feud for the title. It kind of writes itself. So yeah, we're in agreement there. I like that. Starting off on a good note. What about number 4?
Number 4. Um, might be a hot take for those of you who have listened to me for a while. But Marina Shafir.
Oh, she's not even on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and talk about that.
Just over the last couple of years, she's been built into like a legitimate threat for anybody. If she traps you in the mother's milk, it's over pretty much. Without the, timely interference of a swift kick to her head or something, that's pretty much the end of every match. I wouldn't make her world champion on her, like wrestling ability or her promo ability, even though those have both improved significantly in the last few years. But if we had to change it right now and it had to go onto another heel, she would probably be the choice.
She is very believable.
Yeah. She's
in that
believable.
Role.
Nobody would question her winning it, for any reason, really. But also, I mean, she's a scary heel for the women.
Yeah.
That's one that you're chasing her, and not as good on the mic as Tekla, but just as effective in the ring. So we'll see. We would see basically, but I mean, legitimate champion, and usually in wrestling, if you got somebody legitimate as your champion, that actually aids things. So
usually, yeah, she does have a certain amount of aura that she's cultivated over the last 2 years in the Death Riders.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that, and then, for a Toni Storm return, also a good one. I mean,
yeah, pretty much all roads lead to Toni.
Yeah. So
and whenever she inevitably returns.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the end point for both of us, I think, is like, okay, who would match up well against her and for what reason? Number 4 for me, move it back to Kris Statlander. She's steady, she's reliable, she's already over. There aren't that many. The reason that she's number 4, though, is that like we've already discussed on the show previously, she's kind of gone through all the big names already. So it's not like a lot you can do with her that you haven't already done. You'd have to kind of set up some personal feuds kind of outside the sphere of the title in order to kind of build up more challengers in the interim to face her. But yeah, I mean, she reminds me a lot of like break glass, put the belt on Brett. Like break glass, Kris Statlander is always there and she's always dependable. Like that's kind of my thought process. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Like I hesitate to just like move the belt back and forth, but I mean that's why she's number 4 and not number 1 on this list.
Right.
So number 3, who you got?
My number 3 is Harley Cameron.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Now,
really,
bear with me for just a second here because this is how it goes.
I'm. This is kind of a spicy take.
Harley's sad. We don't want her to be sad.
I know. It makes me sad.
So, what if? I mean, they got to make a title change. Harley wrangles herself a world title shot because she's sad. She goes to Tony, like I need something. Okay, well, I'll give you a world title shot. Let's see if that picks your spirits up. And what we get is Tekla or whoever and Harley Cameron, like, in a position where, she's all focused. Like, just the silliness is gone. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm really sad, and this might be my last chance to turn that around. And this is where she wins, and then we get, shit that win energizes her and we get Harley back the way we enjoy her, and also as world champion, which is the catalyst for her going back to, puppets and singing and funny promos Harley. She's over. Nobody would be mad at it, I don't think. Her in-ring ability isn't the best, but
it's been steadily improving.
It's improving, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for the Harley show. And if she's world champion, that's just a perfect excuse for her every week to be the Harley show. So
I see the thought process. I see the vision. She wasn't on my list. I don't think she's quite world title level yet. I do think she'll get there. I mean, because she's worked so hard, you can't imagine that she's not going to continue to work hard and that she's going to continue to improve. I think she'll get there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put her. I didn't put her on my list because I didn't think that she's quite there yet.
I'll make a prediction right now. Right now.
Yeah.
Grand Slam Australia 2028. She will win the world championship.
You know what? I hope you're right. I do love me some Harley Cameron. That would be a really cool moment for her.
Yeah. It would have to be in Australia. It would have to.
Oh, yeah. Take advantage of the hometown crowd for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Number 3 for me was Hikaru Shida. She's used to be known as the ace of this division for a reason. This new heel character is kind of refreshing, really interesting. We had the idea a couple weeks ago of her delaying the turn until Tony came back and she had the belt and would turn on her then, and turn heel then. But obviously the heel turn is happening now. Yeah. So I would like to see what Shida could do now that she actually has like a character other than being, arguably the best pound for pound wrestler in the division.
Yeah.
This is a really cool, refreshing take on her, and I'm really enjoying what I've seen so far. And I'd be willing to give that a shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 2 for you then.
Willow.
See, I didn't have her on my list only because I wanted to avoid double champion situations.
Yeah.
But if she didn't have a title, she'd be my number 1.
Yeah. I say Willow, it's a face that can win it from Tekla, 1. But also it's fucking Willow. I mean,
yeah.
We haven't gotten to Willow world champion yet. And that is...
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. It has to happen.
She's going to be the first Triple Crown Women's Champion.
I believe so. Yeah. So yeah, that she's my second one. I think the reasons are pretty obvious, but yeah.
Just because she's so damn lovable. Like it's impossible to not get behind her.
Yeah.
I absolutely see the value in this. 100%. Like I said, I tried to avoid double championship scenarios. There will be one exception to that, but I tried to avoid them wherever I could. My number 2, Mercedes Moné. She's gonna come back any day now. Like, I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. Like, we thought it was gonna happen in Vancouver. What was it, Vancouver?
In Vancouver.
But she was already not Vancouver.
Winnipeg. We thought Winnipeg
because she was already there.
Yeah, and then we thought Dynasty because she had lost all her titles by then.
Yep. So we know it's imminent. So I'm including her as available. It seems like just the next logical step.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, she did so much for the TBS title, but she's outgrown it. Yeah. She doesn't need to go back there. She needs to move up. She's earned it for sure.
The money match at All In is her and Tony.
Yeah. Again.
for the ladies, that's the money match. Is her and Tony for the world title.
Yeah, running it back. Yep.
Yeah.
The way to do, I mean, we don't know how, Tony is supposed to be gone for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
With what we still don't know, but You build towards next year's All In. Have Mercedes have the belt at least by then. Like, I can't imagine that if you were to put her in the position where she won the belt today, that she would carry it for more than a year. I think they've already done that with TBS title. They had her legendary run. There's no reason to have her have another lengthy title reign like this.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You know, you could drop it a couple of times and get it back to her by the time All In happens next year.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, doing it now, it would make sense. I mean, have her come back from the long layoff, more focused than ever. You know, it's like I'm leaving Ultimo Monet behind. The only reason that haven't been the world champion is because I wasn't focused on it. Chris was right. Tony was right. I had divided my attention, and I wasn't focused on it. I'm going after it now. I want my shot now. I've earned it. She takes it. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody would bat an eye at it. Not after the legendary run that she's had.
No, I don't think anybody would. No.
So who's your number one?
It's Sheeta.
Yeah.
It's
I love that
for
pick.
sure. I mean, we got to make a title change right now. It's Sheeta. I mean, that's the ace of the division. She would be the first or only 4-time.
Nope, Tony's 4-time as well. But she would tie it.
Yeah, she would tie the 4-time. That would give Tony a reason for, you know, when she came back, like, oh, we got to settle this, you know. But also just the added depth to her character right now is enough. Really, she had everything else already. She can do good promos. She has really great English. The mixing between that and Japanese, like we got internet sleuths trying to figure out what she's saying. You know, I love that. I love that. I love all of that. So yeah, I mean, that would be my choice.
My number one is the exception that I alluded to earlier about the double title thing, but only because I have a feeling if this happens, she would drop her other title, and that's Athena.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need somebody dependable, look no further than the forever ROH champ. Like, she is the very picture of dependable, the very picture of excellence, arguably the best female wrestler on the planet, and arguably the best wrestler of any gender on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, she can do everything, and all you would need to do is call her up. And then you can just make up some BS about Tony saying, look, you've had the Ring of Honor title forever. You can have this world title shot, but only if you give up the Ring of Honor title if you win it.
Yeah.
You know, that's an easy thing to write, and it creates more intrigue for Ring of Honor in the process.
Yeah.
And then Athena, because of her world title reign and because of her obvious talent, is immediately credible as the champion. Yeah. Immediately credible. Probably more so than, I mean, when I thought of people who would carry the belt and immediately nobody would bat an eye, she was the first person I thought of because of her success in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Carrying
that brand on her back, on her shoulders for literally like 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So, that's what I went with. That's the only exception to the double championship, and even that had an asterisk to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Athena would be a really good choice. It should have already happened, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, it should have. Like 3 times over by now.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the men's side of things then, shall we?
Yeah.
Number 5. If you had to dethrone Darby in a pinch right now, number 5, who are you choosing and why?
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. He may show up again.
Yeah.
Little spoiler there.
Joe, because I mean, okay, first of all, despite questions around him being champion before twice now, I think it's twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The reaction to him being champion is undeniable.
Yeah.
The AEW fans love it when Samoa Joe is the champion. They love chanting Joe while he walks down to the ring. They love chanting that he's going to kill his opponent. And he puts on killer matches every time, like every time. I mean, yes,
even this late in his career.
Yeah. This late in his career, he's still competing as if it were 10, 20 years ago. And I don't think it's too much of a stretch to be like, Joe returns and he takes out Darby and we have a new champion already. I don't think it would upset anybody.
No, I agree. I mean, and I have him elsewhere on my list, and I'll get to the reasons why when we get there. For my number 5 is Will Ospreay. The only reason that he's this far down on the list is because it's pretty obvious that they're setting him up to win at All In Wembley, and I do believe that's the correct plan. So for my money, the person who should be winning in this scenario should be setting up to face Will at All In, not for Will to win it there and then defend it or lose it and then regain it. His coronation of the first time he wins it needs to be at Wembley, in my opinion. But, underneath these other 4 guys, I still believe he's the best option if you're not going to go with those guys. It's like, well, they're in a better position than he is, but nobody else is any better position below Will. To be that guy. So that's why I've got him on the list, but as the last one on it.
Good.
All right, number 4 for you.
Number 4. Weird to stick with returns, but I'll put Jay White.
Ooh, okay. All right, interesting pick.
Yeah.
I hadn't given him thought. I wouldn't. You know me. I'm not as high on Jay White as a lot of people. I wouldn't probably put him on my list anyway. But I hadn't even considered him because he's not currently active.
Yeah. I would have him return. He could come back as a heel. I think he does better work as a heel.
He does.
And
he absolutely does.
I don't think the way I would love to see how he defensively wrestles the way he does against Darby.
Who throws his body around like a missile?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you defend that?
Yeah, I would like to see how Jay, in his infinite wrestling knowledge, fucking.
You know what he does? Yeah. He just adopts the Samoa Joe nope spot.
Yeah, just over and over again.
He just over and over again just gets out of the way. Oh, brilliant defensive wrestling by Jay White there. He's stepping out of the way.
He's lifting lazily
brilliant.
to the
Nobody
left.
else does that. It's like, maybe that's meta textual there.
Maybe.
I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards. No, I hadn't given that thought, but I mean, he's definitely highly regarded by Tony Khan. He's gotten world title shots in the past.
Yeah.
So for sure, Tony Khan likes him. So if he was active, I could see him being put in that position.
Yeah.
For me, my number 4, move it back to MJF. I know that might be a surprising pick coming from me, but if you look at the rest of the field, it kind of makes sense. As much as I love Andrade, he doesn't have the momentum. As much as I love Brody King as babyface versus babyface, unless you were going to go and turn Brody heel, and beat Darby for the heel heat, I don't think you want to turn Mr. Fuck Ice. Yeah. I really don't. I don't really think you want to do that.
No.
Not when you've got something that the fans can really connect to him with. Hangman Page technically isn't even active, but I want to hold true to the stipulation simply because it's there. It's I would rather put him on this list than not, but I couldn't feel good about it knowing the stipulation was probably going to be adhered to in some way, especially, since he's on hiatus right now, they're absolutely going to stick to it when he comes back, at least in the immediate aftermath of that. So what does that really leave you with? Well, the guy's on my list. And unfortunately, MJF he has to be there. And honestly, MJF versus Ospreay at All In, yeah, I could see them running that back, and this time for the belt and with their higher stakes. So, yeah, I think that's probably the plan. To be fair, is to just move it back to him. There are other people on this list that I would like to see them do that with more so, but I would be a fool to not, in my opinion, I would be a fool to not realize that MJF probably is better being on this list for dependability than for anything else.
Yeah.
Especially since, the report came out that, he was doing a movie and that's why he needed to drop the belt. He was out. And then MJF gets on Twitter and says, no, that's not true. I'm going to be around. So it's MJF. He could be lying. You never know. But, he's going to be around at least long enough to take it back, I think. So I feel like he should be on the list. As much as I kind of wanted to see him just disappear from the title scene and get some character growth before he touches it again. Number 3 for you.
It is MJF, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much for all the same reasons you just mentioned. I think it's going to happen eventually. But if we had to switch back immediately, there it is. Why not go right back to where we were, back to the status quo?
Especially since there's the inkling that it might be in the cards anyway.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Samoa Joe. So we just kind of switched a couple places there. But for different reasons. Yes, the same reasons, but also because I feel like Samoa Joe's 2 reigns have been largely transitory. Mm-hmm. And I kind of just want to see him have a proper reign that doesn't feel like he's just holding the bag for somebody else I want to see him have, even if it's just for 3 months, I want to see him have a title reign of his own that stands on its own merits because he deserves it. Mm-hmm. And he's the perfect monster to take it off of Darby too. He'll just whip him around all over the place. I imagine the finish to this impromptu match being him choking out Darby, getting him in the coquina clutch and then just spinning him around until he completely passes out. Just something really violent like that.
Yeah.
He's due. I considered him because he's due to come back any day now, according to reports. So I put him on my list for the sake of he's kind of gotten a raw deal with his other 2. I'm not even sure that he was plans to take the belt off of MJF the first time in the first place, except that MJF was so beat up. So I want to see what he can do with a proper run in AEW.
Yeah.
All right, number 2 for you.
Claudio.
I like it. I like it a little outside the box considering his positioning right now.
Yeah. So this would be actually a perfect opportunity for him to reassert his level of dominance. I've been failing lately, and no, that's not how this shit works. I'm Claudio fucking Castagnoli, and I don't fail. So he beats the shit out of Darby in a way that only Claudio can.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's plenty of cases where he's out there winning world championships in other companies. It's not like he's not winning a lot on AEW TV, but he's winning a lot everywhere else, and that gives him enough, wherewithal to be like, yeah, he's got the street cred to go in and be like, look, I deserve a fucking world title shot. And yeah, I mean, it would be believable him beating Darby. I know Darby's a scrappy, never quit underdog and all that, but Claudio has a quality about him where he can believably beat the scrappy underdog to the point of not being able to come back. And so yeah, Claudio would be a great choice, I think, actually.
Yeah, considering his placement on the card, I hadn't even considered him, but I do love me some Claudio. I applaud that pick. It's kind of a ballsy pick, honestly. My number 2 is Swerve Strickland. He just recently turned heel. He disappeared. I thought he was going to show up at Dynasty and screw over Kenny Omega. Then they were in the Seattle area, so I thought he was going to come in and screw Darby. Neither of those things happened.
Yeah.
But he and Darby have a lot of history. Swerve's got this renewed, I should say, heel character. Re-upped on his ruthlessness, and I think that he could just absolutely obliterate Darby, and it would be completely believable. Mm-hmm. And then he and Ospreay have that history too. So going into All In, that could be a really, really satisfying matchup, especially knowing that in the only other time that they faced each other in AEW, Swerve won.
Yeah.
And then last year they teamed up with each other, so they've gone through the whole gamut of emotion together. So there's some emotional weight to a standoff between them at All In. Yeah. So you could really market that well, I think.
Yeah, I think it would be really marketable. I mean, yeah, the lore is there, and that's the AEW loves their lore,
They do. Almost to a fault. Actually.
Yeah, almost.
So who's your number 1?
Ooh. My number 1. If we did this a couple weeks ago, it would be Fletcher.
Yeah, I would have put him on my list too.
Yeah,
he would have been probably somewhere in the middle of my list. He would have replaced Ospreay probably. He would have been probably number 3. I would have bumped Ospreay off the list and put him above Samoa Joe and MJF.
Yeah. But
he's out injured indefinitely. We don't know when he's coming back.
So
sucks.
Meniscus injury, I'm calling 9 months minimum.
Yeah, those are tricky.
They are.
Can't mess around with those.
No, you gotta let it
easy on it.
You gotta let it heal, and then you gotta ease back in to make sure that it can still support the way it supported before.
Yeah.
A lot of people might not like this. Okay, but I'm looking at the field, and my number 1 is heel Kenny Omega.
Yes, you and I are on the same page.
Yes,
same page there.
I think Kenny could, because here's how I would do it. All right, because
okay,
Kenny turns heel by maiming Darby out. Yeah. I mean, he just.
Oh, yeah.
How else do you turn Kenny heel? You basically kill Darby. So Darby's gone for a while. Whatever, his part of it. Even after his return, I say he fails, and it's inconsequential at that point. Because I think the money match is heel Kenny Omega and face Will Ospreay for the title at Wembley.
I agree. If you're not going to do MJF, the best option for All In to face Will Ospreay is a heel Kenny Omega.
It's heel Kenny Omega. Yeah.
Like babyface, you could still get away with it, but I think heel, especially with what they introduced this week on Dynamite.
You're my hero. Oh yeah, with the "You're my hero" thing.
He's gonna, maybe there is, and him saying maybe there is a chance. Maybe the chance he's thinking of is to revert back to those heel ways, and then Ospreay wins the Owen and has to face his hero who has let him down.
Yeah.
By reverting to those heel ways.
Yeah, we could get a great "I'm not mad, I'm disappointed" moment here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No, that was my number one pick too, was Kenny Omega, but specifically after a heel turn.
Yeah. Heel Kenny.
Like somebody that's not my idea. I saw somebody pitch that on Blue Sky. I'm like, you know what? That's brilliant. That's perfect. That's how you get away. Like, because the discussion was, leading into Dynasty, if Kenny won, then it would probably be him taking it all the way to All In.
Yeah.
And a lot of the response was kind of tepid to that because it was a babyface matchup.
Yeah.
The simple fact is, now that he's lost to MJF and has a reason to feel desperate, now you can turn him heel, put the belt on him, and take it all the way to All In. And that's a great story with the best possible match.
Yeah.
Do I think it'll happen? I don't know.
It could.
I could see it happening.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's either Omega or MJF, and they're kind of teasing both of those options in front of us. We're still 3.5 months out. So
yeah.
Or 4.5 months out, right?
Something like that.
End of August. So 4.5 months out. So like anything could happen in that time. I didn't think Darby was going to win this week, but he did. So literally anything could happen. But yeah, if you were to ask me the number one pick, if you had to move the title today off of Darby, with everything else in mind, I would have it be Kenny Omega. Get that match, that first time match, that we haven't seen yet, that he brought up himself on commentary a couple of weeks ago, that he's never faced Darby.
Yeah.
One-on-one, and you do the match, and then in the process you turn Omega heel, and then you've got your All In main event all set up, and it makes sense, and it doesn't feel awkward because it's babyface matchup. I think that honestly, I would much rather see them do that, run that one back, than run MJF and Ospreay back. Like they did that 2 years ago. Ospreay versus Hangman was, or Ospreay versus Kenny was, I think, 3 years ago. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago. No. But so you're running something back either way.
Yeah.
But so, to me, the added stakes of the world title isn't, with the MJF matchup, isn't as it isn't as enticing as the idea of the world title being on the line plus their alignment switching.
Yeah.
To me, that's the added wrinkle that makes it a more attractive option.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I still think that's the money match, and I think that's the one that needs to happen. That's the one that's going to, put the most eyes.
Either way, Ospreay needs to win in Wembley. He needs to win the belt.
His coronation needs to happen at Wembley this year. Like, simple enough.
But yeah, I'm glad that we were on the same page for that.
Yeah,
we started out on the same page with Mina, and we ended up on the same page with heel Kenny Omega.
Hell yeah.
I like that. It bookended it nicely.
Yeah, it did. It did. It really did. Not very often we're on the exact same page, folks, but here we are.
No, I mean, and we had, elsewhere on our list, we had, vastly different picks. And I will gladly admit that yours were more outside the box than mine. I tend to take, maybe it's, I guess if you want to call it like a traditional route, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like your picks, except Jay White. Fuck that guy. No, I don't hate him. Like if you had said Gabe Kidd, I would have had.
Oh no, I
we would have had words.
Never. I would have never.
We would have had palabras. But yeah, that is our Call in the Ring segment this week. That was fun. I like that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good little exercise there. Let us know what you guys think. If we had to change the world titles in either the men's or the women's divisions right now with who's available, who would you choose? Maybe you chose somebody completely different to maybe somebody we hadn't even considered. Let us know. We'd love to talk about it.
Yeah, and if it's the Beast Mortos especially, because I'll entertain that one all day. I will entertain that all day. Yes.
Yeah, Beast Mortos supremacy. Go Frank.
With that said, that was our show for the week. We appreciate you all joining us. Thank you to all the new listeners who have joined us over the last couple of weeks. We really do appreciate it.
Hope we've done enough to retain you all.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks to Prognostic Pedals and Weirwood and Team Disaster Plan for sponsoring us as always. Thanks Weirwood for the background music. Thanks Garrett Deming for our opening and closing title song. And thank you all for being here again. The world's a shitty place out there. Keep your head on a swivel. Be very careful. We love you. Fuck ice.
Fuck ice.
Peace.
Peace.